I'm a runner, right? I look like a runner. I got the running clothes on. Got a reading material in my pocket. I look like a runner, right? Yeah, I look like a runner. Thanks for joining me on the run today. Today we'll be going through the rest of the 25 golden rules of running, which were supplied by Runner's World, written by Bob Cooper, Bubby C, in 2005. The left side of the road rule: to keep safe, run facing traffic. Okay, there is no traffic yet, so I cannot run yet. But as soon as there's traffic, I'll be able to run facing it. The Upbeats Down rule: running uphill slows you down more than running downhill speeds you up. You don't get all the energy that you expend going uphill back when you run downhill. That is depressing, especially considering that this is my future. Oh, it doesn't even look uphill from the camera. Seriously though, this is a huge hill, and I am crushing it. Little side note, the Upbeats Down rule, also true for Jedi Knight fights. You're gonna want that high ground, because the Upbeats Down. Unless you're Obi-Wan Kenobi, in which case you just win whenever you want. The sleep rule. I am liking the sound of that. Sleep 1 extra minute per night for each mile per week that you train. Oh, 5 extra minutes for this guy. Whoop whoop. The refueling rule: consume a combination carbohydrate, protein food, or beverage within 30 to 60 minutes after any race, speed workout, or a long run. The exception: immediate refueling is less important if you, hey squirrel, immediate refueling is less important if you aren't running hard again within 24 hours. Oh, Runner's World. I wasn't planning on running hard now, let alone within 24 hours. No refueling necessary. The don't just run rule. Hearing you loud and clear, Runner's World. Hearing you loud and clear. Don't just run. The even pace rule. The best way to run to a personal best is to maintain an even pace from start to finish. Technically what I do is sporadic, but I do it evenly throughout the run, so I'm gonna give myself that one. Definitely keep an even pace. The new shoes rule: replace running shoes once they've covered 400 to 500 miles, which means that the proclaimers should have stopped to buy at least one pair of shoes on their way to you. So pretty much they would walk 500 miles and then they'd buy a new pair of shoes, and then they'd walk 500 more, and then he could be the man who walked 1,000 miles to wind up at her door. So, the hard easy rule: take at least one easy day after every hard day of training. I actually took the Patco into Philly the other day, and there were a couple delays along the way. We actually had to turn back and get on a new train. So that was a pretty hard day of training. Usually it just goes straight to Philly, but this was more intense. So if you're wondering why I'm taking an easy day today, it's because Runner's World says that I can. The 10-degree rule. I actually know this one without reading what they wrote. Runners don't typically exist in the same circles as people who know Kevin Bacon. So as a courtesy to us, they give us 3 extra degrees in the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon game, which I think is very kind, and it helps me get just that much closer to KB. The speed work pace rule. The most effective pace for VO2 max interval training is about 20 seconds faster per mile than your 5K race pace. The tempo pace rule. Lactate threshold, or tempo run pace, is about the pace you can maintain when running all out for 1 hour. I have no idea what I just read. Oh no, do you think the audience notices? That cool. Just say something witty. Look at the trees. Good save. Good save. The long run pace rule. Do your longest training runs at least 3 minutes per mile slower than your 5K pace. You really can't go too slow on long runs, says Jeff Galloway. I like this Jeff Galloway guy. Oh wait, there's an exception. Galloway says you should run even slower on hot days. Wow. Jeff Galloway's awesome. This guy really knows his stuff. And the final rule on the list is the finishing time rule. The longer the race, the slower your pace. And not to brag, but for the experienced runner, you don't even need to have a long race to have a really slow pace. It just takes practice. A lot of stopping, a lot of standing. But I don't expect everyone to be at my level right off the bat, so work at it. Take a rest here and there. If you feel like you can give it more, don't. If you see a bench, say, hey, tax dollars paid for you. Don't let that go to waste. So that concludes the 25 golden rules of running from Runner's World. Thanks for joining me while I got the runs. I get the runs quite often, so if you want to join me on those too, subscribe to the channel, click that little notification bell, and also follow me on Instagram because there are some deleted scenes that end up there. Now for the obligatory running off into the distance shot. Oh, look how fun running looks. I should do the running thing.